Hey, bro, I didn't finish my dream story.
Yeah, dude. As I was like talking, I was like, we got to go back to that. So
Okay, sorry.
sorry, I'm sorry, not you. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're sorry.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm just kidding. I asked you if you've had like realistic dreams,
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah.
And then a few days ago, yeah, a few days, maybe about a week ago when it happened. Dude, I had this dream where it was like hyper realistic, and it just felt super, super real. And the difference for me between a realistic dream and a non-realistic dream is when I wake up, if I can remember it vividly, and if when I'm in my dream, I'm logical.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking in my dream.
Right.
And my dream is unfolding and I'm doing exactly what I would have done in real life. That to me is like a hyper realistic dream. You know what I mean? It's not just like amorphous and I'm like floating around and
Sure.
you know, and then different scenes change and I'm like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
No, not that. That's not what I'm talking about. Like this dream that I had, and it was pretty trippy. And I've had one other dream like this that was super, super, super realistic. And it was after I stopped smoking weed completely, you know? And I think what happens is they actually say that once you stop, your REM sleep, your body tries to make up its REM sleep. So you have crazy vivid dreams. Okay. And what a coincidence that, remember we were talking to Lucas and I'm like, bro, I had a dream about a movie. Like I dreamed an entire movie.
Yeah.
It was that. It was
That's
my hyper realistic, crazy REM sleep trying to catch back up. And I watched an entire movie in my dream from start to finish with a narrative, with character development, this beautiful storyline. Like I woke up and
That's
I'm
insane.
like, it was the craziest thing I've ever, bro. It was, my dream was
remember
the
it, though?
craziest
Like-
experience. I remember all of it. And when I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, that movie was amazing.
2 thumbs up.
I'm not even kidding. I woke up, I wrote it down because I'm like, dude, somebody's got to make this. Yeah, somebody's got to make this. Oh my God. Like it's been a while, so I'll have to like read it to refresh my mind completely. But bro, it was like a World War II setting. Okay. It was a World War II setting. It was a story about a Japanese immigrant. Listen to this crap, bro. Hey, and I watched it. I literally, it was as if I sat in front of a TV and just watched this whole thing. And I'm talking, like, I'm just going to speak generically because I'm trying to recall it, you know?
Sure.
But imagine everything I say with detail, with emotion, with dialogue, with, you know, it was the craziest thing ever. And, okay, so it's World War II. There's this Japanese immigrant who flees Japan because they're getting destroyed or they're at war or something's happening, you know, they're messed up too, or he doesn't agree with what the Japanese were doing, something like that. And he flees to America and he's got a young daughter, maybe like 8 years old. And he also brought his father who's got dementia and he's an old man, you know? And so he's trying to care for his father who's got dementia. He's also trying to raise this daughter, and his wife, I think, died in the war. Okay. Somehow she died. And this guy ran a little restaurant. This is the craziest thing. Listen to me.
She died.
Hey, she died in the war. I don't know how, but I know she died in the war. Okay. And it was very emotional. And listen, this was his background. This guy, his wife died, has a father who has dementia, has this daughter. They moved to America. In Japan, he had a restaurant and he ran a little restaurant before the war. Okay. And then when he came here, he didn't know anything else. So he started a restaurant. Okay. Wow. And he freaking runs this restaurant. And then the grandfather stays at home, but grandfather has problems too because of the dementia, you know? And there's a family that comes in. This is so crazy. It makes no sense. Like there's a family that visits this guy's restaurant every week. They'll come in and the family orders the exact same thing. There's a young boy, about the daughter's age. They're always off in the corner playing. The husband and the wife come in, and dude, listen to me. This is insane. The husband and the wife come in, and they like know the owner. The owner sits down, talks to them. They're friends. You know, the family checks in on him, asks how he's doing, because people didn't like the Japanese during World War II. And there's a lot of other people that came to the restaurant and were like racist and like Jap and blah, 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 you know? So this guy's constantly like in a state of like anxiety and being in America, but he's safe, you know, but there's a lot of hatred towards him. His daughter gets like crap too from other kids in the neighborhood.
Dude, this is so involved, man.
It's the craziest. I'm telling you, there was like character development. There's a
like
narrative
an ending?
for each of
like
them.
Is there like a lesson here, or what?
Yeah. Listen. There's an ending. I'm telling you, there's a beginning to the story, and then there's an end to the movie. Okay, and
it's like a plot and stuff, like
bro. And listen,
like a good guy, bad guy, whatever those are called.
These the kids I told you would always be off in the corner, you know, like playing and like stuff, and they would always go in the restaurant. They always had even though it's not Japanese now that I think about it, but they would have fortune cookies on the plates, you know.
Okay.
And the kids, while the parents were talking and stuff, the kids would always go sneak a fortune cookie, you know, and like be in the corner like eating the cookie together, you know. That was their little thing. And then I have to read if anything happens between this, but this is what I remember. One time this family comes in, and the dad is like, oh, we'll get the usual, you know. I forget the guy's name. Let's say it's like, I don't know, Kim, you know, like Kim, we'll get the usual. So the guy's in the back, he cooks it up and he brings out the food. Remember, they always order the exact same thing, right?
Right.
And so he brings out the food and he gives a plate to the wife, and he gives another plate to the dad. Right. And the dad's like, oh, Kim, what is this? You know, this isn't what I usually get. And Kim is like, yes, it is. That's what you always get, you know? And he's like, no, it's not. Like, this is blah, blah, blah. I always get blah, blah, blah. And like I don't know if you remember, but like in movies where older Japanese people are portrayed, they're always like very stern and very proud and very, you know? Yes. And he's like, no, that's what you always get. I bring it to you every time, you know? And they get in like an argument where they're like, the family's finally like, let's get out of here. Like, I don't know what's going on with this. Let's get out of here, you know? And the Kim guy is very proud and won't like say he's sorry or anything like that, you know? Shoot, now it's starting to freaking fade, man. I got to read it again. But what ends up happening is, because of the racism, because of like the hatred that this guy's always experiencing, he's like, and now he just lost his most like his patron, you know, his most sincere patron, who's also his friend, and like that kind of held him in place in the community. Like that's why they stuck around. I'm telling you, this is insane. This is a dream. I watched it.
Dude, how long were you asleep for?
I don't know how much time transpired. I have no idea. But this all happened. I know. Okay, sorry. Okay, so now that guy's gone, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be. I'm moving back to Japan. Whatever happens to me happens to me. There's no place for me anymore. Okay, so he packs his stuff up and gets his daughter, gets the grandfather again, and they go to the train station. Okay, and the dad and the grandfather are already on the train. While they're there waiting for it to take off, that other family comes back to the restaurant and it's closed. Okay, because he closed the restaurant. Right. They felt bad and wanted to come and make amends, you know? And so they come on the same day they always do, and that's the same day that this guy's on the train getting back to the ship or whatever, going to the ship, right, to go back to Japan. Right. And it's closed, and somebody tells him like, oh, Kim's on his way to the train, they're going back, you know? Right, so this family sprints off. The little kid, being a little more vigorous, he gets there ahead of time, and he sees the daughter like about to get on the train, yells out like, oh, Lang or whatever, you know? They see each other, they reconnect. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry you're leaving. Like, oh, I'm going to miss you so much. They're crying and stuff. It's insane. They're crying and stuff. And they're kind of like, it's also the story, aside from being about the parents and their like friendship, the story's really, in the movie, the story was really focused on the friendship of these two kids. You know, that was kind of like the angle through which they told this other story about the family and about the war and all. Dude, crazy. And so the kids reconnect. The parents are like still trying to get there. The whistle's blowing, you know. And I think the parents, when they looked inside the restaurant, there was a bunch of stuff that was like left, like stuff that was important, but it was almost like it was forgotten, you know? And the kids are reconnecting. The kids are sitting there like crying and talking about their friendship, and they'll miss each other and like, oh, I'll wait for you. And, you know, like really cute. And there's just so happens to be some kind of like Chinese little restaurant or something at the train station. And guess what's on the freaking plates? Fortune cookies. And the kids, this is insane. The kids freaking go and have like one last fortune cookie together while they're crying, because that was their thing. You know what I mean? And the steam, like choo-choo, the train things, Kim's out the window like, Lang, let's go. And I think she told him that like father has not been himself lately or something like that. Okay. And she runs to the train. The train takes off. Right then the parents get there, you know, and see the train taking off, and the son's standing there all by himself with like his half of a fortune cookie.
Oh, no way.
You know, dude, it's insane. And the parents are like, they start crying because they didn't get to say goodbye and ask for forgiveness from this proud man, you know. And he's probably going to die. He's going back to freaking Japan, World War II status, you know, might go get freaking Hiroshima nuked or something. And they ask the kid, like, what did she say? You know, and he's like, they're going back to Japan. The dad refuses to see you anymore. He won't ask for forgiveness because he's proud. You know, he's that Japanese proud guy. But she said that he hasn't been himself lately, and he keeps forgetting things. And then it hits the parents. He's got dementia, just like his father. Bro!
How is this a dream? That was like a book.
I don't know.
That was a straight up book.
I'm telling you, it was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And listen to me, I saw it. There was like people, and there was a narrative, and there's a beginning and an end. There's like a reason that this is happening. It all culminates in the fact that the dad is losing his mind. That's why he didn't bring him the meal that he had. That's why he forgot stuff at the house. You see what I'm saying? But because he's so proud and it's in his culture, you know, the guy wouldn't like ask for forgiveness, and he missed them. He loved this family, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it. And he was probably also losing his mind too. You know what I mean? Dude, how insane is that?
This is the craziest dream I've ever heard in my life.
And I saw it unfold. It wasn't like a stupid dream where everything's really like ambiguous and like fuzzy. And it was
you remember it so
a
clearly.
movie.
It's so cool.
And I've got it written down. There's other details that I guarantee you. I haven't read it in, you know, since I've had it. That's just what I remember. Bro, I saw it. Like, I'm telling you, I saw it. And I woke up and I'm like, that was one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. And somebody should make this.
What? Dude, this is so weird, man. Like, dude, I mean, seriously though, like I don't know, man. I mean, I want
to share it with Lucas. I'll send him this, and I'll send him the transcript, you know, from when I woke up and wrote it down. I
don't understand how this is a dream.
Okay. So me neither, bro. Me neither. I don't know how that stuff works. But